I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. The time is always right to do what is right. Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Freedom is never voluntarily given by the oppressor, it must be demanded by the oppressed. We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. We must build dikes of courage to hold back the flood of fear. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Let no man pull you so low as to hate him. The quality, not the longevity, of one's life is what is important. If a man has not discovered something that he will die for, he isn't fit to live. No one really knows why they are alive until they know what they die for. True peace is not merely the absence of tension, it is the presence of justice. The time is always ripe to do right. He who passively accepts evil is as much involved in it as he who helps to perpetrate it. There comes a time when silence is betrayal. The hottest place in hell is reserved for those who remain neutral in times of great moral conflict. We are not makers of history. We are made by history. Every man must decide whether he will walk in the light of creative altruism or in the darkness of destructive selfishness. Shallow understanding from people of goodwill is more frustrating than absolute misunderstanding from people of ill will. The ultimate tragedy is not the oppression and cruelty by the bad people but the silence over that by the good people. The true measure of a man is how he treats someone who can do him absolutely no good. Change does not roll in on the wheels of inevitability, but comes through continuous struggle. There can be no deep disappointment where there is not deep love. Human progress is neither automatic nor inevitable. Every step toward the goal of justice requires sacrifice, suffering, and struggle, the tireless exertions and passionate concern of dedicated individuals. A genuine leader is not a searcher for consensus but a molder of consensus. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. Forgiveness is not an occasional act, it is a constant attitude. Peace is not merely a distant goal that we seek, but a means by which we arrive at that goal. A lie cannot live. If I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way. Everybody can be great, because everybody can serve. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. The moral arc of the universe bends at the elbow of justice. The labor movement was the principal force that transformed misery and despair into hope and progress. We may have all come on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. Law and order exist for the purpose of establishing justice, and when they fail in this purpose they become the dangerously structured dams that block the flow of social progress. I look to a day when people will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. We are prone to judge success by the index of our salaries or the size of our automobiles rather than by the quality of our service and relationship to mankind. In the process of gaining our rightful place, we must not be guilty of wrongful deeds. Oppressed people cannot remain oppressed forever. Nonviolence is a powerful and just weapon which cuts without wounding and ennobles the man who wields it. True compassion is more than flinging a coin to a beggar, it comes to see that an edifice which produces beggars needs restructuring. The good neighbor looks beyond the external accidents and discerns those inner qualities that make all men human. And, therefore, brothers, there is nothing more tragic than to find an individual bogged down in the length of life, devoid of breadth. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word in reality. Our scientific power has outrun our spiritual power. We have guided missiles and misguided men. We must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools. We must concentrate not merely on the negative expulsion of war but on the positive affirmation of peace. Nothing in all the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. I submit to you that if a man hasn't discovered something that he will die for, he isn't fit to live. It is not enough to say we must not wage war. It is necessary to love peace and sacrifice for it. We will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. If physical death is the price that I must pay to free my white brothers and sisters from a permanent death of the spirit, then nothing can be more redemptive. Let us develop a kind of dangerous unselfishness. An individual has not started living until he can rise above the narrow confines of his individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, every hill and mountain shall be made low.